I think there's a level of beauty in the mundane, in day-to-day activities and day-to-day struggles. It's weird because a lot of us are so attracted to watching media, even though a lot of it is not particularly different from our own lives. Like on one side you have the fantasy genre, and that's like an umbrella, it covers a lot. And a lot of people love it, especially fantasy games, fantasy films, because it acts as a place of escapism. So why do so many people love things that are just grounded and stuck in reality, especially slice of life anime? If you haven't subscribed to the channel, feel free to do so. We're a small community, but it's good vibes. Anyway, like an OG iDubbbz video, I'm taking this back. Way back to the first iteration of slice of life anime, which really presented itself in Astro Boy. And Astro Boy is one of the oldest anime ever known, preceded by a short film called The Dull Sword. Honestly, for an animation made in 1917, like, this isn't half bad. It's a bit weird, but you know. But in Astro Boy, we really get a good idea of what slice of life is. See, the general idea of slice of life goes back to naturalism. It doesn't need some overbearing purpose. It's kind of just a sequence of events that just kind of happens. It's usually quite arbitrary, like random things just happen and our characters get dragged along with it. See, the term slice of life itself actually derives from theatre. It comes from a French phrase called ranque de vie. I definitely said that wrong. I'm not French, allow it. I swear so many cinematic phrases just derives from French theatre. I mean, you got like mise en scène, le fondue. That's dissolve. It's not chocolate fondue. Now I'm hungry. But what we get in Astro Boy is the first, albeit brief, description of this naturalism. Astro Boy, or if you want the original translation, it's Mighty Atom. You know, he spends his days going on his typical adventures, you know, saving the world, but there's also a lot of times where he's just shown going to school and learning and just doing random antics. Like, a lot of the time he just does stuff, and you kind of wonder why this stuff is even involved, because, you know, at first glance, it doesn't really add to the plot, right? I mean, was it there for character exposition? Was it there for filler? I mean, you thought Naruto was bad. They've been doing filler since World War II. But no, really, I think a lot of these small segments of just stuff are genuinely there to benefit the character. It allows us as the audience to connect with the character, and this is where it all begins. This whole genre became prevalent because is it just too much to ask to just spend time with characters doing next to nothing? No. Because Love Island exists. So after a while, we're greeted to an entire series fully dedicated to the slice of life style, and this series was called Azumanga Daioh. It's kind of basic. I mean, you have school kids and they're just sort of doing their thing. Yeah, it's basically an anime about a bunch of girls just trying to get through school, and they also go to a beach house, which just becomes the staple of pretty much every slice of life ever. I mean, there's just always a beach episode. Like, I don't know. I can't imagine why. And from this point, the genre really gets set in stone. It becomes really popular and more things come out just like it. But how? It's weird because us as consumers, you'd imagine that we always want something new, something to stimulate us, a new type of story plot. But slice of life kind of does the binary opposite. It almost goes backwards. And it's almost the same thing over and over again. Slight changes. And it really makes me wonder why people keep coming back to it. And that is the key word. Come back. See, genre in itself provides us with preconceived expectations of what we're going to see in a story. And we come back because genre films have picked up a sense of familiarity. And that's why people keep coming back to superhero films. They've been doing the same things for years and years and years, good versus evil. And apart from obviously changing with the times on a technical level, they really haven't changed that much from when they were first conceived. And this is a crazy thought because they still make crazy money. People still come back to it. Like good versus evil, okay, let's change the story a little bit and oh look, we got people watching it again. And I'm not saying familiarity is a bad thing. It generates so much revenue and so much hype for the film industry and the anime industry, or a lot of media in general. But it's crazy and you have to appreciate how powerful it actually is. The thing is, it makes us feel comfortable knowing that we're not going to see anything outside of our preconceived expectations. We're not going to see anything too outside of the realm we haven't seen before. There's a lot of stories that still pull me in that I love, but this sense of familiarity is literally built into the writing of the characters, their interactions, and everything that happens to them. It allows us to be so invested because it's so grounded in reality, which is familiar. Okay. So here's the bombshell. Okay, I don't know if I've drank too much coffee, but Slice of Life is weirdly clever because it's taken this idea of easy to watch and has turned it into its own subgenre. So, the implementation of familiarity has in itself become familiar. Anyway, what I'm trying to say in this video is just escape the Matrix and go and watch some experimental German films from the 1920s. Or don't. The beach episodes are pretty good.